The small towns of Bulwer and Donnybrook in the KwaZulu-Natal Midlands were some of the hardest hit by looting during last week's unrest. The areas witnessed severe damage to both public and private property. Our reporter Letiwe Mdluli joins us now for an update on the mop-up operations. Letiwe, how are things looking on the ground there?
Well, there's been severe damage caused by the looting and the disruption that took place last week in the province. The small town of Bulwer, where we are right now, where the Minister of COGTA, Nkosazana Dlamini-Zuma, is visiting today, has been badly affected. Driving into the town, we could see a lot of businesses that were disrupted, that were burnt to the ground. We've been told by community members in this small town that they've been affected by this because there are currently no supermarkets that are operating in this area, which means that they have to drive about 30 minutes from here to Underberg to get any food essentials. They are also saying that they need the government to intervene. We've seen driving in that there are currently cleanup operations that are taking place, but for now I'm joined by a community leader. I just want to get a sense of what exactly happened last week. Good afternoon, Mr. Mnguni. I understand that you're a community leader here in Bulwer. I want to get an understanding of what exactly took place here in Bulwer last week.
Yeah, no, thanks. Greetings to you and the viewers at home. Well, what happened, as you would know, there was a general protest, in fact, emanating from the arrest of the former president, President Zuma. And now what happened is that in our small towns, your Donnybrook, your Bulwer, as well as Underberg, there were people who were protesting all over. And then at night, obviously, those genuine protests were hijacked by elements of criminality and thuggery, where people started burning shops, started looting and vandalizing properties. So it's generally that has actually affected us here in Bulwer as well as Donnybrook.
So a lot of businesses have been affected when we understand that there are no supermarkets currently open in this small town. What are people doing to get food essentials?
Well, as you correctly put it, we are heavily affected. I'm going to repeat this again. When you speak of Bulwer, when you speak of Donnybrook, you are speaking of deep rural areas where people have to travel a long distance to get those essentials. So now the people here in Bulwer, as well as Donnybrook, they have to travel to Underberg, they have to travel to Pietermaritzburg, they have to travel to Kokstad to get groceries, to get essentials. And what has actually affected us mostly is that people can't even have access to their medicals or their medicines because, as you would understand, even the pharmacies have been banned, so that's just that we're faced with a serious crisis. Even ATMs have been banned. So our people really, they have to travel a long distance to get all those essentials.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
So as the gentleman correctly states, the community is in deep distress over food and also medical essentials because all the pharmacies in this area and all the supermarkets have been affected. This is a deep rural area, and I'm guessing this is why Nkosazana Dlamini-Zuma, the minister, made her way to the small town today to basically assess what, moving forward, what they're going to do as government and also the cleanup operations, how they're going.
Letiwe Mdluli, our reporter out in Bulwer and Donnybrook, not just the urban areas that were affected by the violence we saw last week. Some of the deep rural areas in the KZN also affected, and lots of people now having to travel long distances to get just cash from an ATM, medicines and groceries from supermarkets. We'll be back with you shortly.